If you follow the luxury market at all, it's no secret that most luxury brands are struggling. Sales have been down over the past year for many brands, and as a result, a lot of market valuations have shrunk, sometimes dramatically, as in the case of Gucci. Here are some numbers as reported by Forbes just this past week. Most brands are either holding steady with single digit increases or declines. Gucci is far down at negative 35%. The one positive on this list is Hermes. This is for a few reasons. A lot of consumers for years now have been complaining that prices are rising and quality is going down. The price hikes have far outpaced the rate of inflation, and with quality suffering, a lot of consumers are finding a hard time justifying paying luxury prices for items. This has also been compounded by the fact that several companies are under court administration in Italy for their labor practices. A lot of luxury brands have been subcontracting to various factories in Italy, and it's been discovered that sometimes labor regulations are not being followed. However, there are a few brands that still stand out to me as worthy of your money. These are brands that I am personally recommending. I do own bags from each of these brands, which I will show you. My top 3 brands that I personally recommend based number 1 on their quality and craftsmanship. My number 2 criteria is a luxury consumer experience. These are brands that personally, I have had fantastic personalized customer experiences with. And make sure you watch to the end because I will also share 2 bonus brands which you might not be familiar with. And these 2 brands represent a category of luxury. This is where I think the future of luxury is heading. Let's start with the most obvious choice. You will most certainly have heard of this company, and it is the gold standard for luxury goods. I had to include on my list, of course, Hermes. I won't spend too much time on Hermes because I know we're all familiar with it, but I do have to mention, as I said, Hermes has made a name for itself as the gold standard for luxury goods, particularly luxury handbags. However, if you want to purchase an Hermes bag, you don't have to go for a Birkin or a Kelly. I don't own any Birkins or Kellys. They make a lot of other fabulous bags, such as this picotin here, which I have in Torreon leather in the color gold with palladium hardware. I won't go into detail about all the bags I will be showing today. I will link to my videos on these bags in the description box below. So go head down there after this video to watch my reviews on any of these bags if you're interested. So, very quickly, my criteria for this video. Number 1, quality and craftsmanship. Hermes is well known for using the highest quality materials available on the market, and they are known for their superior craftsmanship. I am not going to put Hermes on a pedestal. I have heard privately of some little quality issues here and there with Hermes bags. But that being said, the quality is definitely there with Hermes bags. You do have to inspect each piece independently and take a look at it to make sure there are no quality issues, but Hermes is not known for having quality issues. If you get a bag from Hermes, you will most likely have it for many, many years. I do also like the brand because they do stand behind their product. You can bring any Hermes bag that is authentic into a store and you can have the bag sent off to the spa. They will do some repairs, some cleaning of the bag. I believe they only repair and clean the outside of the bag, not the interior. But even if you have a vintage bag or a bag that you bought secondhand, as long as it is an authentic Hermes bag, they will stand behind their product. So I also really love that. The one aspect where I think people may disagree with Hermes being on this list is the customer experience. there have been many stories of snobby sales associates, unfair practices, playing favorites, and I'm not discounting any of those stories. However, personally, I have always had positive shopping experiences at Hermes, both as a walk-in customer and when I've shopped in my local store with my personal sales associate with an appointment. In both of those cases, whether a walk-in or with an appointment, I've always had positive experiences. I do think it depends greatly on your expectations as a customer and the location that you're shopping in. Of course, a small local store is going to have a much different experience than going to the flagship store in Paris on a Saturday afternoon, probably when it's busiest. Let's move on now to my second recommendation. My next recommendation is the oldest luxury brand, Delvaux, in continuous operation since, as you can see on the bag here, 1829. This is a Belgian brand. Let's take a quick look at the Delvaux bag that I have here. And this is the Cool Box Mini in the color Vegetal. As you see, I do love these tan colored bags. This is similar to the Hermes Gold. Here they are side by side. You can see the Vegetal is just a hair, just a touch lighter. This is the Cool Box Mini from Delvaux. I purchased this a few years ago virtually from their New York City boutique. Delvaux has very high marks, in my opinion, for quality and craftsmanship. It is my experience that their quality and craftsmanship is on par with Hermes. I would rank them equal in terms of quality and materials. They do source the highest quality leathers, again, from the best tanneries in Europe. And the craftsmanship is also very well executed, in my opinion. I hear very, very few stories of Delvaux bags having quality issues. And this is also very apparent on the pre-loved market, particularly with vintage Delvaux bags. You can see how the quality has lasted so well over the years. There are some beautiful, beautiful vintage bags on the market. If you are open to shopping pre-loved, you can find some great deals on Delvaux. I will link to one specific Delvaux reseller who specializes in vintage Delvaux bags. I will link to her website down below so you can check her out. But if you are planning to purchase from the store, even virtually, the customer service far exceeded what I expected. And I'll give a very brief overview here. I talked about my experience in detail on my videos on this bag, but I filled out an online form for this particular bag. This color was sold out online. So I entered my personal information and I clicked notify me on the website. I was expecting to get an automated email when the bag was restocked online. Instead, I received a personal text message from a sales associate at their New York City boutique that they had this bag in stock in the store and asked if I was still interested. I had a few questions about the bag. The sales associate very kindly answered all of my questions, sent me photos of the bag. I ended up purchasing the bag through that sales associate. He packaged it up, delivered it to my home, and even included a small gift for me. He included a Delvaux candle, which I thought was such a nice touch. Their wrapping, their packaging, the dust bags that they use are all like far exceeding my expectations. So I was just so happy with the experience. It was very personal and it was a very luxurious experience, even when shopping virtually. So I also recommend Delvaux if you are looking for a high quality luxury bag. Moving on now to number 3. If you are familiar with my channel and you've watched my videos, you won't be surprised by my third recommendation, but if not, this might be a new brand for you. My number third brand is Joseph Duclos. This is a relatively new brand, even though they do use the year 1754 in their marketing. The brand was dormant for many years, possibly centuries, I believe, and it was recently revived in the 2000s by a financier, and they brought on Ramesh Nair as the creative director of Joseph Duclos. Let me show you the bag I have first before I get into the brand. This is the Diane Messenger, and the crossbody strap that this does come with is inside the bag. As I was saying, Ramesh Nair is the creative director. He is a very, very well-known designer in the luxury space. He worked and studied under or trained with Martin Margiela as well as Jean-Paul Gaultier. He spent years at Hermes, followed by Moynat as their creative director. And then he was brought on to Joseph Duclos. So in my opinion, having a Ramesh Nair designed bag in my collection is one of the ultimate luxuries. These bags are primarily handmade. Yes, you heard that right. Handmade, saddle stitched in their atelier in France. I would put these on par quality-wise with Hermes and Delvaux. And their customer service experience is one of the most personalized I have ever had in my life. This is a relatively small company as compared to the larger brands like Delvaux and Hermes. If you contact the brand regarding any of their products, you will receive a personal response. I have had a lot of contact with their sales associates who very kindly have gotten on video calls with me to personally show me their bags in virtual appointments. We've sent countless emails and photographs back and forth to each other. And I do also have to say their aftercare is exemplary as well. They do stand behind their products. A week after I purchased this bag, I had a slight accident and damaged my bag. They arranged for white glove delivery. They picked up this bag from my home, had it delivered to their atelier in France to be repaired, and delivered the bag back to me within weeks. It was an amazing, amazing experience. So I really highly recommend Joseph Duclos. So these are all three brands I highly recommend: Joseph Duclos, Delvaux, and Hermes. Now, for the two bonus brands, which is a category of luxury that I personally predict is the future of luxury. And that, my friends, is Bespoke luxury bags. This is where I see the future of luxury heading for people who are seeking that truly luxury experience. Having a bespoke bag made to order personally for you, you cannot get any better quality than that, because these bags, again, are made to order specifically for you by your personal specifications with the atelier. And it is a one-of-a-kind piece. It is the ultimate luxury. There are two brands that I personally admire who specialize in bespoke, made-to-order luxury bags. I have to preface this by saying I don't personally own anything by these two brands. I am just a fan of the designers behind these brands, and I personally love their designs. However, I don't personally own anything by them. First, there is Helene Nepomniachtchi. I do apologize for mispronouncing her name. I am trying my best. She is a highly regarded French accessories and handbag designer. Prior to launching her own brand, she did work as accessories designer with Karl Lagerfeld, Celine, and Hermes. She does still currently work in collaboration with Hermes for some of their Petit H creations, and she does have her own brand. She does have a variety of bags that they offer, and they do offer their bags made to measure. You can also specify leather colors, thread colors, hardware colors, etc. Her brand does offer a nice variety of iconic bags. These are fabulous bags for everyday wear. In addition, they do offer these fabulous, what they call on their shop, eccentric bags. And these are just so much fun. They are wearable works of art, in my opinion. I love the matchsticks bag. There's also a piggy bank bag, a bumblebee bag. These are just so much fun, so creative. And I absolutely love the artistry of these bags. I do also love that they offer a nice range of classic bags in their iconic collection. And of course, those can be made to order. Another brand and another designer I really admire is Peter Knits, and he's based in Zurich in Switzerland. Prior to this year, all of Peter Knits' items were specifically bespoke made to order. In 2025, they did open their ready to wear shop, and you can view the shop online. They launched with their first product, the Libby Tote. And again, I'm really intrigued by this brand because they have a very big emphasis on using the best materials possible. He does also specialize in exotics. I'm going to pop up a reel that went sort of viral a few weeks ago where you can see him cutting open a panel on the front of a Kelly pochette, and by request from his client, inserting a feather panel. I saw a very interesting discussion on Instagram Live with Peter Knits and the customer who requested this customization on her Kelly pochette, talking all about exotic bags and exotic leathers and this specific project. I will link to the Peter Knits Instagram page in the description box down below. So Peter Knits is another great name, a great brand for bespoke made-to-order bags. I would love to know what you think of my brand recommendations, and if you have any other luxury brands that you recommend for exceptional quality and an exceptional customer service experience. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button so you will be notified when I upload my next video. In the meantime, I'll leave another one up here for you to watch next, and I'll see you in the next one.